Harry Neal in the broadcast booth at the old Boston Garden. It might be old, but it's a lot of fun, and they're really crammed in here tonight to cheer on the Boston Bruins. Andy Van Hellemond is the referee for this game. Ray Scapinello and Swede Knox are the two linesmen. As he has on 21 other occasions in this year's postseason, Billy Ranford gets John Muckner's call tonight. Ranford's 15 wins, one short of the playoff record, a win tonight, and he'll tie Grant Fuhr and Mike Vernon. Most of all, though, he'll be a member of his second Stanley Cup team. For Boston, Andy Moog, this little guy has fueled this year's playoffs with perseverance and personality. Van Hellemond comes to center ice. In front of Ranford, Gregg and Huddy, Messier, Simpson, Anderson. In front of Moog, Wesley and Bourque, Carpenter, Carter, and Christian. Simpson starts out the center and gets a hit right off the bat. Messier coming in there, and he's ridden in on the boards by Carpenter. The Bruins obviously going for the first goal. The first goal has been a big one in this series, as you know. And the Oilers would dearly love to have it right here. Christian coming out. Wesley from center, first save of the game. Ranford, stick save. Gregg back to the net. Up it goes to center ice. Messier charging in there. Two Bruins watching him. Intercepted by Lowe. He's in there with Lamb in front of the net, and Lowe was jammed. Weak shot, missing on the short side, off the stick of Jelena. Centered again. Here comes Kevin Lowe to pick it up. Lowe looking for the front of the net. In around the goal. Now he centers it. Lamb was covered. Lamb on the puck. Jelena trying to play it out front. And Peterson was knocked down by Jelena. Lamb in there. Lamb around the net. Tried to center it. Now he does. Curry's shot is blocked by Peterson. Pass to center to Carter. The Bruins want to make changes. What a torrid pace they're setting to start this game.
The Boston Bruins, Bob, need some early success in the first 8 or 10 minutes. And the Oilers know it.
Here's Murphy with Graves. Coming up over the line. Look out, Smith! Shot on the short side. He just missed. Oilers are on it. The play called. And the net apparently is off the magnets in behind Andy Moog. 156. Solid action in the first.
After about a 40-second siege of forechecking by the Oilers' kid line and no Bruin being able to knock any Oiler down, Raymond Bourque finally does it, but takes a cross-checking penalty for his efforts. And the Oilers have an early power play against the Boston Bruins here in Game 5. Raymond Bourque, beardless as you can see. And there are the stats as far as the Oilers are concerned on the power play.
Lyman couldn't stop it. He's with Smith, Messier, Anderson, and Simpson, the forward line for Edmonton. Lyman to Messier. Messier gliding in there. Here is Simpson centering it. Messier has it in the corner now. A good play for Watsalainen inside of the net. Simpson was in close and just failed to make contact in front of the net. Ranford out to stop it for Smith. Messier was moving. Now Smith goes in over the line, squeezing by Galley on the boards. It'll come back on the other side to Messier. Messier can't keep it in. Messier quickly gets it back to Watsalainen. Simpson now has to go in. He gets away from Galley. Ran into his man on the boards. It has been called icing. Simpson has been very physical for the Edmonton Oilers in this series. He's showing it again tonight.
What the Oilers are complaining about, Bob, the check after the icing. Among the players, it's a no-no. It's a cheap shot. And you can see that they're still upset about it. Referee Andy Van Hellemond did not call a penalty. And the reason is that after you touch the puck, you often let up. You know the play's over. And to take a late hit is tough. Van Hellemond is now over talking to Mike Milbury, who's bitterly complaining about that check by Simpson after the icing and after the whistle was blown.
He looks calm enough.
Butler says, what's the big problem? It was icing. That's the call you wanted, isn't it, when you're down a man?
And down a man for another 103. Ray Bourque in the penalty box. Messier stays on. Bob Sweeney will try to win the faceoff. Burridge is on there to help kill the penalty for Boston. Galley and Wesley. Curry is on the ice with Messier. And Tikkanen, the other forward. Messier waved out. Tikkanen will come in. Face-off to the left of the Oiler net. Curry. A pass in behind Messier. And he has to back up with it. Burridge was forechecking for Boston. 50 seconds left in the penalty. Tikkanen. Starting out to Messier on the fly. Grabbed the pass and rolled it in there. Charges after it. He and Galley bump in the corner. Here comes Burridge to the Boston Bruins. Puck in on the skate of Galley. Now he kicks it loose. Huddy at the blue line. Other side for Gregg. That's intercepted. Bob Sweeney moved it out. Gregg again to Curry. Curry over the line, and it is called. There's a penalty coming up to Tikkanen of the Edmonton Oilers.
Tikkanen held Bob Sweeney as they were both going to the bench. One of Tikkanen's little tricks to upset opponents is to grab them, hold them, run a little interference. That time Andy Van Hellemond was watching, and with 25 seconds left in Raymond Bourque's penalty, Esa Tikkanen takes a holding penalty. It had absolutely nothing to do with where the puck was, as both Tikkanen and Sweeney were leaving the ice. You know, at the Boston Garden, Bob, quickness, Milbury was telling me this, quickness more than all-out speed is a more important factor here than at Northlands Coliseum. And Mike feels that his team is just as quick as the Oilers team, but not as fast, and he may have a point. They're going to have to be quick tonight by the looks of how the Oilers are skating early in this game.
Played 4:32 of the first period. And we've seen just 3 shots so far. 2 by Edmonton.
Well, John Muckler can afford to gamble a little bit, and I think he is gambling here on the road. Look at the pressure they put on Boston right away. When you're up 3-1, you have a margin of error, obviously, that Boston doesn't have.
Neely nearly intercepted a pass in front of the net. Now Markland goes in there and he falls to the ice. There's another penalty coming up, and it's going to be against the Boston Bruins. Galley, the defenseman, is going off for holding with 11 seconds left in Bourque's penalty. 1:47 in the penalty to Tikkanen.
Carl? I didn't know we were having dinner tonight.
You are.
Dandruff. Carl and I go everywhere together.
Keep dandruff from ruining date night.
Carl, how could you?
Selsun Blue helps eliminate annoying itch and flakes.
I sent your new prescription to the pharmacy.
Any idea how much it will cost?
You have a choice. Insurance or GoodRx?
I have insurance.
Insurance is not what it used to be. People struggle to get their prescriptions covered, and prices keep rising. I recommend GoodRx. You get free coupons to save on your prescriptions. Compare prices to find the best discounts.
GoodRx. Smart.
Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
No one likes to feel stuck, boxed in, or held back, especially by something like your cloud. It's a problem, but the IBM Cloud is different. It's the most open and secure public cloud for business. It can manage all your apps and data anywhere, so it can help take on anything, from rebooking flights on the fly to restocking shelves on demand, without getting in your way.
2 Bruins in the penalty box, and the latest to arrive, Gary Galley, caught for holding at 4:45.
Let's have a look at it. Here's Galley holding on the way in. the Boston defensemen, once they take their hand off the stick, especially the smaller ones like Galley, always hold. And Andy caught him. And for 11 seconds, the Oilers would be 4-against-3 in the skating department.
Bourque gets ready to come on now. Anderson is in there. He's knocked to the ice by Wesley. And now Wesley falls and they smother the puck. And the face-off is going to be in the Boston zone to the right of Andy Moog.
Nice smart play by Wesley. First, he was nice and aggressive on Anderson, but second, when he had Anderson down and he was kind of falling on him, he had the presence of mind to shovel the puck under him. And you know, they were 2 men down for this 11 seconds, and you don't want loose pucks when you're in the corner all tied up with one of the opponents. It would have been 4 skaters, or 3 skaters to 2 then. A good play by Wesley.
Bourque standing up in the penalty box. 2 seconds left in his penalty. Now he is on the ice again. Smith has the puck. Bourque was moving on Ruotsalainen. Bourque takes the puck and comes in for Boston. Bourque trying to go for the net. Poked away by Ruotsalainen to the line and kept in. Carpenter has it in the corner. Looking around, trying to find somebody open. Oilers, Steve Smith. Stopped by Bourque. Messier was dumped. Bourque gets set, shoots. Saved by Ranford. Bruins are on it. Wesley gets it back to Christian. Christian to Bourque. Bourque was in close, sharp angle. Now pass back to Carpenter and a shot stopped by Ranford. Ranford, the stand-up goaltender, looking very cool as the Bruins are pressing a bit until Messier gets going. And here he is with Anderson. One man back there. Messier to Anderson. Save Andy Moog. Bourque back to center. Janney coming up there. Here's the play to Bourque. He missed it. Neely lost it. Oilers come out again. Anderson. Yes, Messier on his right. Huddy going for the net. Can't make the play. Out for Don Sweeney. He has Janney on their play. Takes a high shot over the net. Neely and Hawgood keep it in, but now Huddy. He's knocked flying by Neely. Bruins come to life now. Janney gets set. Takes the shot. That's blocked. Tikkanen flipped it out. Simpson to center. And to get rid of it. Simpson up after it. He's going in with Curry. Here is Curry in front of the net. He can't get the puck to him. Hawgood diving, knocked it away from Simpson. Simpson in there again. Tikkanen on it. No score in his first period. Played 7 minutes. And it's been hectic. Curry left it back of the goal. In on the boards. Tikkanen rides his man. Simpson looks out front of the net. Takes it from Galley as he did. Don Sweeney for Boston. Shoots it to center. Janney. Hawgood. Hawgood shot. Broke his stick with that one. Muni and Lowe get together. They get the puck up to Gelinas. Look at him go in. Gelinas. Nice play on the far side for Graves. And Graves takes it. Centered it. Murphy is stopped. Bruins get going again. Peterson brings it over the line and dropped it. Shot. Missed the goal. Bob Sweeney nowhere near the net on that shot. Smith given a bump by Sweeney. Takes the puck though. And then takes another hit from Burridge. Murphy is hit hard by Sweeney. Murphy takes a look. Sweeney hit him again. Galley back in his own zone with Bice. He falls. Bruins move up on the puck. Oh, and a hit at center ice on Galley by Graves. Smith and Murphy. Murphy's shot kicked out by Moog. That was a fine save by Andy Moog. McTavish trying to make a play. 8.5 minutes gone. End to end now in this 5th game at the Boston Garden. Pass off the boards for McTavish. He knifed at it and it goes inside the Boston line. Bourque back. Oilers change. Here comes Bourque. Johnston on the right wing. Long shot. Nowhere near the goal. Off the boards to Prop. Myers is knocked flat and hurt. Byers was hurt inside the Edmonton line.
He's lying there. The trainer sees him. I don't know whether he's dazed because he got hit in the head or he hurt his knee. Byers had not played a game in this series, and I thought it was a good move by Milbury to get him in. Let's have a look at the hit right here. It's his own player. Byers runs into Raymond Bourque, and Bourque gets up, and Byers doesn't. And it was one of those knee-on-knee collisions. Look at this. Bourque doesn't even know who hit him. And Byers got on the wrong street and couldn't get off it. And you can see him holding his knee there. I rather think it's that. But I was saying that I thought Byers was a good addition. In this small rink, he could bang around because the Oilers, I won't say intimidated, but they certainly were number one in the physical department in Game 4 in Edmonton.
We've played just 9 minutes of the period, and brother, have these two teams come out to put on a show tonight and to win some solid hits.
Well, to win hockey games in the Stanley Cup Finals and also to win the Cup, your big-time players have to produce. And here's the exact reason why the Bruins are down 3-1 in this series.
.856 left in the opening period. No score. Lamb squaring off with Bob Sweeney, who wins the draw on Bourque. Slides a pass. Wesley had a backhand and around the net. Burridge is in there trying to dig it out against Ruotsalainen. Bob Sweeney comes in. Lamb caught him. Sweeney again. And Lamb once more caught him. Prevented him from making a play. Lamb shoots it behind his own net. Smith rolled it to the other side. Curry, realizing the pressure is on, trying to slap it out and couldn't. And the Bruins keep pushing in there. Here's Ruotsalainen relieving the pressure now and looping it down the ice. He just put it easy up on the boards. Bruins, right in front of the net was Bourque. They lose it in there. Curry tried to make a play for Lamb, and Bourque covered. Curry again. Boston out. Gould races over the Edmonton line. Bruins were changing. He's alone on the play. Oilers dump it out again. Don Sweeney. He circles with Byers. Takes the pass. Shoots it in. Radford missed it back to the net. Johnson couldn't center it for Byers. Here's Sweeney. He just missed. Galley shot. Tipped in front of the net. Oilers get it out. 3 of them. Curry carries the puck with Jelena going for the net. Curry slipped it in there. Jelena out front. Oh, and he just missed. What a great play by Jelena to pick it up in front of the goal. He is quick and dangerous. Martin Jelena. He's going to be around for a long time and with big numbers, mind you. Murphy is up there with him this time. Here is Graves. Jelena knocked down. Graves a high shot. Moe dropped it and knocked it away. Byers slipped it down the ice. Kevin Lowe coming back. Around the net. Up for Murphy. Murphy had to slip back to get away from Carter. Takes the puck and now has to roll it up over the Boston line. Kevin Lowe back. McTavish is away with it. Up with Klima. Dropped it for Klima. He is coming in. And the shot, an easy one, is scooped up by Andy Moog. And Moog hangs on to it. 6 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first period. And still no score.
Well, anyone who knows Andy Moog knows that he'd be right at the top of his game tonight. Martin Jelena has been a thorn in the side of the Bruins in Game 4 and now again tonight as Sweeney loses the puck. And as Jelena's going down, he gets a shot away. And this line of Murphy, Graves, and Jelena have played almost the whole period in the Bruin end. Raymond Bourque has to be careful waltzing through his own crease with the puck. Nearly cost his team a goal.
McTavish and Carpenter square off on this one. It's hooked in back to the net by Carpenter. Christian takes it out of the zone for Boston. The pass. stopped near center ice by Ruotsalainen. Here's McTavish coming in there. McTavish around the goal against Hoggood. Circles back again. Twice he got away from Hoggood. And now Smith plays it back in front. Klima is there and lost it. Carpenter coming back out. He was upended. Ruotsalainen turning. Steve Smith shoots it in. McTavish way ahead of him on the play. So Bruins come out with it. Hoggood. Lost to Messier coming in with Anderson. Messier trying to go for the net. Anderson shot off the arm of Moog. And it goes up over the glass. Moog just got his left arm up. And it... Bob Cole with Harry Neal. Ron McLean, Don Cherry, Chris Cuthbert at the Boston Garden for Game 5. Ranford gloving one again. Loose puck in front of the net. And the Oilers cover up. Murphy. Roll the puck as far as the line. Smith coming out over the line and near center before he shoots it in. Wesley going back to take it away from the goaltender Moog. Smith pitching in. Bruins come out. Janney carries the puck up over the line and dropped it. Here's Hoggood. Nice save by Ranford. Another shot that's blocked by Graves. He's alone on the rush though. Graves up over the line and two Bruins are back. And Graves is dumped by Peterson. That allows Bork to come to center. Bork, long shot. Stick save by Ranford. Here's Tikkanen. Less than 3 minutes to play in the period. No score. Messier falls. Has the puck under control though and slipped it back. Griggs rink wide pass to Huddy. Doesn't work. Myers flipped it in for Johnston, who was hit immediately by Gregg. Now Galley shot. Screened. Ranford saw it. Here's another shot. That one off the leg and Ranford comes diving out to hold the puck. And there's no further play. 2:27 left in the opening period, and it's solid Stanley Cup hockey tonight at the Boston Garden.
Without question. In Game 4, the Oilers created all the pace, and Boston couldn't keep up to them. Tonight, both teams are flying, and it's been a superb exhibition of hockey. Hoggood, who joins the rush better than any other Bruin defenseman, forces Bill Ranford to make a real fine save as he took a drop pass and from 30 feet out took the shot. And Alan Peterson on Adam Graves, and this has been a great hockey game. Physical, fast, and sensible.
From the draw, Galley from the blue line. Slipped a pass to Sweeney. His low pass goes by everybody wide of the net. Johnston roll it in front. Myers fanned on it. Anderson out with Messier and McTavish. Messier to the line and in. He can't get going. Stopped at the line. Oilers keep it in. Off Moog. It was loose for a second, but Anderson was covered. Back in for Don Sweeney. Myers missed it. Don Sweeney gave it to Myers. He's moving up there with Gould, and here's Messier intercepting. Bork was back. Got a piece of it. Now Simpson fooling Bork and go in. Simpson jammed on a break, centered it. Lamb in front of the net. Here's a shot. That one just missed. And Myers has to shoot it away the length of the ice as the Oilers storm back and apply some pressure inside the Boston line. For a preview of our first intermission tonight in this fine hockey game, let's check in with Ron McLean.
Thank you, Bob. In the first intermission this evening, I'll talk with the delightful youngster Martin Jalina of the Edmonton Oilers and the good old fellow Don Cherry in the coach's corner.
And we have 1 minute and 29 seconds left in this first period. The shots are even, 10-10. Everything is even. There's no score.
Does this period have to end, Coley? This is the best period of hockey I've seen in the 1990 playoffs.
On the face-off, into the corner it goes, and Wesley is on it. Wesley has to wait for Christian to come back. He faked the pass, so Wesley carried out, got it through to Carter to Christian. Christian in with Carpenter. And that is called offside. Carpenter was in ahead of the play. 2:13 remaining in this first period. No better game when you get two top teams putting out like this.
Bobby Carpenter's played a lot of hockey in the finals here for the Boston Bruins. He's one of the few players in the National League that uses the waxed yellow skate laces. Most use white. He doesn't wear socks. He ties his skates up very tightly and says the yellow ones keep them tighter than do the white ones. Not because the Bruins have yellow in their uniform.
Lowe shoots it in, and we're into the final minute of the opening period. Wesley hit near center, and Lowe just shoveled the puck off the boards, and Bork takes it again for Wesley. He lost it to Curry. He left it at center ice. Gets it again. Up for Lamb, and Wesley stopped him. Bork to Wesley. Wesley flipped it in. With 35 seconds left, the Bruin defense changes quickly. Low in front of the net. Curry tipped it down the ice, and Peterson on there now for Boston up the galley. Steve Smith watches for what's the line and come back, and here's Messier. Front of the goal. Knocked down, and Smith was there to recover for the Oilers. Two Bruins were in there, but Messier was checked. 10 seconds left in the period. Neely moving up. Can't get room for a shot. And this first period comes to a close with Neely and Smith bumping along the boards. What a period here in Game 5, this first one tonight.
Well, it was a superb period. The Boston Bruins still having trouble scoring when they get good chances. You know, only 3 forwards have scored a goal in this series, and 2 of those forwards, Johnson and Weiss, were not with the team when the playoffs started. They need some regulars scoring a goal or 2 if they want to prolong this series.
In that first period, the shots were even, 10 apiece. No scoring, and Martin Gelinas will be along in a moment to chat with Ron McLean. If this is a sign of things to come, great hockey game. You can't leave us. Score in the first. You look at the history of the Celtics, it'll take you 10 minutes to look around this building. There are Boston Celtics championship banners all over the place.
Ned McHale be a good defenseman. What a reach he'd have there. He could stand in the middle of the rink and touch both boards.
No scores. Second period underway now. The teams are at full strength. Only 3 penalties been called, 2 of them against the Bruins, all minors in the first period. And it's Janney going right in on goal. Oh, and Radford took it away from him. Now the play is whistled dead. But Janney had a great opportunity to spark the Bruins with the first goal of the game. But here he is again, Billy Radford.
Boy, Ranford made a great stop on a very clever hockey player in Craig Janney, who's taken a lot of abuse in the Boston press. Now here is Janney at his best. We haven't seen that very often. Ranford looks like he's in trouble, but he got it anyway. A great stop. A fan stopped me coming into the rink and told me that he thought Janney was lousy, played worse in Game 4 than a stop clock. I said, a stop clock? He says, yes, a stop clock is right at least twice a day.
Janney an opportunity to get the Bruins going there, and Billy Ranford comes up with another big save for the Edmonton Oilers. Bork slaps it in. Gregg got the puck as far as the line, and that's where Wesley stopped it. Gregg again. Wesley once more stopped it. Janney working it around and threw it up near the net. Putty tried to flip it out and hit Carpenter's stick. Now Janney once more. He's in there, but by Tikkanen trying to get loose. Tikkanen looking for Janney. Can't find him. Neely goes into the corner, and Gregg hits him. Bork comes in to help out. He's in front of the net. It bounced over Bork's stick. Anderson races in for Edmonton. Anderson made a big play. He scores! Anderson on a big play, scoring, and the Oilers get the first one, lead 1-0.
Well, of all the scoring opportunities we've seen tonight by either team, that rush by Anderson couldn't be classed as a good one. It was a 1-on-2. And Don Sweeney is the defenseman on the side of the rink that Anderson goes to and plays the puck right there and gets burned, although where did Raymond Bourque go? And Don Sweeney's had an atrocious series defensively with a -10, now a -11. But Anderson, like 2 or 3 of his teammates, can beat you in a non-goal scoring opportunity.
Unassisted goal by Anderson is 10th of the playoff. 1:17 of the second period. And the Oilers get the all-important first goal in this game. Mark Lamb in his own zone, put it by Peterson, and down the ice. Burridge. Bumped by Lamb. Curry is coming in there now. Centered it, and Lamb fanned on it in front of the net. Curry made another big play, and Lamb just missed scoring for Edmonton. Gary Galley with Burridge. And now Don Sweeney. He dropped it behind everybody, and the Oilers get it out again. Up near center, Curry is reaching for it. Simpson has to come back. The Bruins are making changes. Here's Curry to Lamb. Lamb bumped by Johnston. Bourque passes one back to Hoggood. He shoots it out over the line, and Lowe dumps it back in. Hoggood stopped it for Bourque. Oilers are changing. Pass goes up there, and Carter goes in. Smith beat him to it. Steve Smith played it out. Graves with Murphy and Jelena on the ice. And here now is Murphy. Murphy takes a shot, and Jelena is in there. He circles and fired a backhander wide. Graves shoots one right to Moog. Moog drops it to Hoggood. Hoggood gets the puck ahead to Johnston. And Murphy again. The pass intercepted by Carter with Hoggood. Hoggood's rink-wide pass hitting Christian. And the Oilers get it up to Murphy again. Hoggood couldn't shoot it in. Here comes Murphy and Jelena over in front. He's in. Jelena couldn't get the pass because Bourque fell in front of the pass. And that stops the play. We'll be right back after this message.
Dutch was coming on the noon train, looking for revenge. Jesse was sheriff now. Gamefly's my town. We all know Jesse's played over 9,000 games with Gamefly. Dutch wasn't much for words, but he'd come to settle the score.
Go to Gamefly.com and play all the new and classic games. Choose from over 9,000 titles with free shipping and no late fees. Start your 30-day free trial at Gamefly.com. Product shown rated D3M.
Nobody beats Jesse, because he has Gamefly.
It's Hockey Week in America on NBCSN. Come celebrate all week long with the most epic games our sport has ever witnessed. Thrilling Game 7s. Rehashed rivalries. The best from hockey's roots outside. Championship moments. And Sid versus Ovi. Join us all week long for Hockey Week in America, presented by Discover on NBCSN.
This is the kind of information Coach Mike Milbury does not want his Boston Bruin players to read. Not very often when you get in the hole that the Bruins are in do you come back to sip out of the cup.
Especially when they're squaring off with a team like the Edmonton Oilers. They've won 4 cups, but I don't think I've seen the Oilers as hungry for a Stanley Cup. Maybe, but not quite as hungry as some of the players on this team this time around. They have a lot to prove, and so does this gentleman, John Muckler.
Well, you know, the Oilers have been expected to win cups. Some of those, at least I would say 3 of the 4, and maybe even the 4th as they lost in the finals before they won it. But I don't think anybody expected them to win this one, and this will be a sweet one for the fellows who have been here a while. And, of course, for the newcomers, what better night than the night that you cradled the Stanley Cup for a while skating around the rink.
However, we're only in the second period of this hockey game. And it's been a tremendous pace to it ever since the opening face-off. And these Bruins, of course, want to keep it going and get back to Edmonton. 1-0 is the score on the Anderson goal, unassisted. 1:17 of this period It was a beautiful play by Anderson.
Well, Milbury has to talk his team into trying and convince them that the score isn't going to end 1-0. I mean, they have to look at it that way. They played well enough to get the first goal, but they didn't get it. And that's a tough thing to convince your players of when they've had such a time scoring on Bill Ranford, who is dancing ever so quickly to winning the Conn Smythe Trophy, I would think.
Face off in the center ice area. Carpenter and McTavish. Bookberger and Klima on the wings for Edmonton. Janney, Neely, and Carpenter move up. Here's Bork. Don Sweeney winds up for a shot. Got through. Just missed the net. Ranford was ready for it anyway. McTavish trying to get it out. Can't do it. Janney kept it in. Bork turning around at the blue line. Now to Janney. Janney centers one. That's off his stick. Neely back of the goal. No room for him to move. And McTavish just puts it by Bork to center ice. Don Sweeney rips it back in. Janney is in first. Carpenter moving for the net. The shot, a high one, and Ranford again covers the angle. Out for McTavish, upended near center. Bookberger running into Bork. Oilers make changes as Carpenter takes the pass. Slides it up to Janney. He is stopped. Carpenter again shoots it in. Two Bruins were trapped inside the line. They have to clear the zone, allowing the Oilers to come out. Messier, full steam up, coming in. Here's Simpson and Smith at the blue line, kept it in. Messier missed it. It'll be Anderson along the boards, overskating it. Burridge out for Boston. Pass to Bob Sweeney. He goes in with Burridge, and they're offside at the Oilers' blue line with 8 minutes, 52 seconds.
Good shot of the kind of hits you take after you've passed or shot the puck. Bookberger trying to get Sweeney to change on the fly. Peter Klima, who's been complaining about his ice time to his teammates, and one of them said, "Peter, you're a spacey guy, and when expansion gets a team on the moon, you'll be the captain."
Oilers tip the puck out and down the ice. Wesley put it in high, bounced down to Ruotsalainen. And Simpson just slapped it to center. Wesley drives it back in for Boston. Steve Smith, Burridge chasing him. Smith gets the puck loose for Messier. He can't roll it very far. He got it as far as the line. Sweeney, a shot blocked by Anderson. He's going to break away. Wesley coming back. Anderson in, set it up. Simpson right in. He scores! Simpson scoring for Edmonton on a great play by Anderson.
Well, Anderson faked the shot and then passed it behind his back to Simpson, who he knew was barreling late on the play. And of course, if you play with a guy like Simpson or Curry or Anderson, it's never too late to get into the play. And I'll tell you, Simpson came from a long way back. He got this goal when he made the decision to go away behind Anderson to the net. And watch the move he makes on Andy Moog. Very similar to the one Anderson made on Moog when he got in alone on him in Game 4. And then, of course, he's fired into the net. But it never fails. It doesn't hurt nearly as much when you're cranked after you score a goal as it does when you're cranked if you don't score a goal.
Wesley did everything he could to prevent that scoring play. But a great burst of speed by Simpson gets his 16th of the playoffs. 9:31 the time of the goal, and it's 2-0 Edmonton. Now Graves gets a shot on Moog, who makes the save. The Bruins in a hole now. Play it up over the Edmonton line, and back there is Murphy turning. He's with Jelena and coming in. Murphy to Jelena. Jelena is tied up, can't shoot it. He left it at the blue line. And now Graves comes in. Here is Jelena. Jelena spinning away from Hawgood. Hawgood put the grab on him. And now Jelena again finds it. Knocked down by Hawgood. Gets back up and keeps the puck inside the line. Murphy in, sidestepping Peterson. Here's Graves. Weiss moving in there. He drops it. Johnston shot. That went off his stick and just missed. 2-0 Oilers. 9:20 left in the second period. Here is Neely and Bork. Bork's shot blocked by Ranford. Bork keeps the puck in there. Now they hold it against the boards. It comes to Carpenter. His shot missed the net. Wesley, Bork. That's tipped by Neely and he missed. And the Oilers shoot it down the ice and it's right on the net. Bruins trying hard to get back in it. Janney to Neely, broken up by Curry. Curry tied up by Neely. Grabs the puck and he's hit by Tikkanen, allowing Curry to sweep in with Lamb. His shot off a stick. Bork blocked it. Carpenter for Boston and Neely to Janney. Back to Bork to Neely. Neely tied up. And the Oilers just keep getting back there and playing well inside their own blue line. They're checking very closely now with a 2-0 lead. And past the 10-minute mark of the second period. So they feel they have their job half done. Peterson shoots it in. And the play is stopped on the offside. 7:58 remaining in the second period. Peter Pocklington and company.
More than Mike Milbury. And what can you do about it? It's a terrible feeling, Bob.
Edmonton Oilers have that good feeling now. They're up 2-0 with 7:20 remaining in the second period. The Bruins know it. They have to get something going before too long. And to do that, they also know they have to open up. And if they do that, they know what can possibly happen because of the speed of this Edmonton squad. It's flipped across center. Tikkanen got it to Messier. Messier didn't clear it. Janney there, and he was hit hard. Neely got in there and just about got a shot away. He did not get all of it, and Ranford covered on it.
Well, Janney's got the bullseye on. He's playing with a little more intensity tonight, but he's getting all kinds of attention from this guy. And Craig Janney with Tikkanen out there doing this all the time to him, he must feel like he's playing this game in a phone booth. No room at all. He's complaining to Andy Van Hellemond about it. And you can see what's happened to Craig Janney since he was introduced to Esa Tikkanen.
6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second period. Edmonton with a 2-0 lead in this hockey game, leading in the series 3-1. They'd love to finish it off tonight for their 5th Stanley Cup. The Bruins fans trying to get the team going with a face-off in the Edmonton zone to the left of Ranford. Gregg to Curry. All good pinching in. Curry with the puck to Tikkanen. Trying to slip it out. Lamb is up behind everybody and gets the pass. Lamb coming in. Volk stopped him. Lamb had a great chance to blow it open. Neely in for Boston. Nice save by Ranford. Neely with a bid and Ranford with another great save. In front of the net, Hallgood saw the puck knocked away from him. Tikkanen put it in back of the goal. Honey being watched by Janney. Bork trying to keep it in, does. Neely to Carpenter. Carpenter's pass. Hallgood screen shot. It was blocked by Gregg. Gregg slapped at it. Oilers dump it out and down the ice. Tikkanen relieving the pressure. And Bork back. Icing called against the Oilers with 5 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the second.
Plus-minus department, he does a lot of the spade work for Tikkanen and Curry. They like to play with him. Here he gets a chance to score, but you see how the puck rolled on him? And he had to look down and recover the puck. And that took away the concentration. Cam Neely has absolutely been stoned by Bill Ranford, and there's an example right there of what's happened about 8 times in this round. Neely on Ranford. Hartford, but couldn't beat him.
Anderson, who has scored one of the goals, now sets up Kevin Lowe and Messier. Messier driving in there with a pass. Lowe kept it in back of the net. Now Anderson again. Slipped it over on the far side for McTavish. Messier whipping it around. Bruins get it out. Lowe from center. Lifts one into the corner. Galley sees Simpson coming in and pulled up a bit. Christian lost it. Here's Kevin Lowe. He gave it to Anderson behind the net. Simpson tried to center it. Anderson, difficulty in the corner, finding it. Now it's centered. Simpson shot. And he missed. Don Sweeney can't get the puck out on the first try. Does on the second attempt. Bice is in front of the net. And he just missed it. Messier back up for Edmonton. Simpson with him. Messier stopped by Carter. Allgood coming out. Up over the Edmonton blue line and going around Smith. Now Smith catches up to him. Keeps him in there. The play is stopped. With a collision in front of the net. Simpson went flying and he was trying to get back.
He was back checking on the Bruin forward and fell off him right at the net and slid in. I don't know whether he hit the post or very hard or not, but he looks like he's complaining about something to the trainer.
Hockey fans, celebrate your favorite NHL legends at Fanatics.com with official vintage hockey jerseys by Fanatics. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
GameFly gives you access to thousands of games and movies. It's just 54 cents a day for a month of video game rentals. 77 cents gets you 2 games or movies at a time. Keep the games as long as you want. Swap them on your schedule. Start your free 30-day trial at Gamefly.com.
This is a special report for people who want the facts about reverse mortgages without the hype. You've seen a lot of commercials telling you how you can turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. But do you really know if a reverse mortgage loan can help you? Call today. For a limited time only, we'll send you a free special report. There's no obligation, and the call is free. So don't delay.
Call 1-800-301-3307. That's 1-800-301-3307.
Well, you're looking at the leading goal scorer in the playoffs in 1990. Craig Simpson, who seems to have recovered from a slide of death into the net.
4 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the second period here in Boston. The Oilers leading in a hockey game 2-0. Anderson and Simpson have scored the goals. Allgood in for Boston. Bob Sweeney in front of the net was covered. And up for Jelena. Jelena moving up and Johnston. Stick handles away from him. Centered it. But Burridge picks it up. Out with Bob Sweeney. Burridge along the boards is choked off. It's centered all the way back, and the Oilers are swinging in again. Jelena coming in with Graves. He's in there. Oh, he had a great chance to shoot it on the short side, but elected to pass it off. Jelena with a great opportunity to get his first goal and the third of the night for Edmonton, but he elected to make the pass.
You know, sometimes when you get a 3-on-1 for as long as Jelena and his line mates had it, you have too many options running through your mind. Jelena was going to shoot it, then he was going to pass it, then he was going to shoot it, and then he decided to pass it, and the 3-on-1 turned into a 3 on everybody. There's where he was going to shoot it. Here's where he's going to pass it. Here's where he's going to shoot it. Now he's going to pass it. And, of course, someone else always gets back into the play, and a very dangerous rush. Now watch the collision of the Bruin players, and this is why it was a 3-on-1. Johnson and Peterson are down in the neutral zone, and from the red line in, it was a 3-on-1 that wasn't converted into a goal. 2 years from now, that line would have had it in and back at center ice for the faceoff.
Lamb, Curry, Teagan in for Edmonton. Bob Sweeney with Burridge and Johnston for Boston. Huddy shoots it off the board, put it in there. Curry on it quickly to Lamb. Bork stopped him. Curry tripped up inside the blue line, and the Bruins get it out. Huddy will slap it back in. Bork and Wesley. Pass to Burridge. Coming down with Johnston. Burridge looking around, and he took too much time and got hit. Now Gregg He slapped it to the line. Wesley stopped it there. Johnson lost the puck against Gregg. Mark Lamb moving up for Edmonton. Curry joining him on the rush. And Bork takes Lamb in on the boards. Bob Sweeney out for the Bruins. A pass will go down the ice right to the net. So Lowe fired it back to the Boston line. Bruins shoot it in. Again, icing has been waved off. 3 minutes left of the period. 2-0 Edmonton. Tikkanen slow in clearing it out. Now it's fired off the glass and down to the Boston line. Don Sweeney shoots it from center ice. All the Oilers are back there covering, and the Bruins are forced out again. Galley slipped away from Messier. Stopped, though, at the blue line. Had to recover quickly with Tikkanen almost breaking away. Here's Carpenter coming in. To Janney, to Galley, shoots! And Ranford got his arm up. It's centered again. 3 Bruins there. Janney shot gloved by Ranford. Janney throws his stick away in disgust. What do I have to do to score on this guy? Ranford coming up with another big save.
That sounds like a recording, Bob. Ranford with another big save. And there was a crowd around him on that one. His poise in this playoff has been only excelled by his goals against average. And here he's going to give you an example of it right here. Bouncing pucks, all kinds of traffic. And he catches it as if to say, that's enough, boys. We need a face-off. This is a big production of Stanley Cup playoffs. There are 4 television feeds going out of here. So on Causeway Street in front of the Boston Garden, they have to block the street. There's the French, taking it to the French-Canadian population. You're coming along now. There's Mr. Cole and myself for the English Canada. And now as we get closer to center and going on the other side, there's Nesson, Derek Sanderson, Freddie Cusack. And then finally we get down here to Sports Channel, Jiggs McDonald and Bill Clement.
And 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second period. So they're all here in Boston covering the Stanley Cup final. With 2 minutes left in the second and Edmonton up 2-0. Time running out on the Boston Bruins. Carpenter trying to get something going with the help of Bork. And Bork has to just slip it in. Oilers are all coming back. This is Smith back at the net. Ruotsalainen in the corner and skating with it. And he can do that as well as anybody. Ruotsalainen lifts it off to the corner. It gets in behind the goal. And Moog shoveled one ahead to Hoggood. Oilers were changing. Bruins get it to center. In goes Bice. Dropped it. Christian tried to go in and 2 Oilers fell. Bruins are on it. Bice's shot off his skate. And the Oilers, Jari Kurri. He tripped up trying to skate toward the line. Edmonton shooting it down the ice anyway. And the Bruins have to come back. Prop checked his man from center. Gregg. 1 minute left in the second period. Simpson is in there. Sidestepping Peterson. Hoggood on the puck. He's bumped. And they're going to get a whistle, I do believe. And the face-off is going to be outside the Boston line for our second intermission information. Again, we go to the man who knows, Ron McLean.
Bob, it'll be a conversation with John Carter of the Bruins and high anxiety in central Alberta as we look at the moms and dads of Bill Ranford and Glenn Wesley.
.49 seconds left in the second period in this face-off. As you see, they're lining up just outside the Boston line. The shots are 19-15 in favor of the Bruins. So, Mrs. Ranford, young Billy, is doing it again. What a playoff. And write his name on the Conn Smythe Trophy any minute.
They'll have to let a lot in the third period to lose it.
Wesley back. Puts it off to center ice. Anderson, who opened the scoring here in the second period. At 1:17 on a picture play. And then set up Simpson at 9:31. Anderson is going to do something else, maybe. Here he is. into the corner with 10 seconds left, and Wesley poked it off his stick. 5 seconds left in the period. Bork will shoot it. Here it is. Billy Ranford kicked it out. Siren goes to end the second period.
Well, the Boston Bruins and the Edmonton Oilers played a very even first period. In the second period, Glenn Anderson struck and got the opening goal and then made the play on the second goal. And you know, the Edmonton Oilers, over the years in playoff games in which they can eliminate their opponent, their record is 24-2. As Kevin Lowe put it, over the years in games like these, we show
teams on the ice for the third period, and the Oilers 20 minutes away from their 5th Stanley Cup. Gordie Howe has won 4 Stanley Cups, and you must know the feeling that the Oilers right now have on the verge.
Well, you just heard that when they're on the way out the ice. Each individual is given an assignment, say, make the line, keep the line going. They themselves know that 20 minutes, and if you break it down, other than Messier and Anderson, some of the guys are only playing 5 minutes, so surely they're going to have that much energy.
It's interesting, they all talk about the Stanley Cup rings. You won 4 cups, no rings.
No rings, and young Richard won 11. He's only got 10 fingers. But no, the ring I'm wearing right now with great pride, it's a Stanley Cup ring, but that was presented to me from my old coach, Tommy Ivan, and it was through an article that was written, plus the fact that Mark wanted to win a cup and get me a ring. So Tommy Ivan called the house and said, what size does the man wear? And that's what I wear with pride. It's more than a Stanley Cup ring. It's a friendship ring.
You were at the Northlands Coliseum on October the 15th when Wayne Gretzky surpassed you on the all-time scoring list. Did you think the Oilers were a team that was going on to a Stanley Cup?
Well, they hadn't gotten together yet, and which is obvious. That's why Boston had a winning season over them. But what I think really happened is they finally gelled. Some of the new kids got involved with the veterans, and they got good veterans out there, guys who can lead in a clean leadership way, which obviously must take effect because the kid line out there looks great.
Gordie, always a pleasure. We're going back upstairs for the third period, and Bob and Harry.
Thank you, Chris. And doesn't Gordie look just super? Almost suit up and go at it again. Great to have the great veteran Gordie Howe.
Did you know? You could have earned real cash back on your last grocery trip. Just add offers, scan your receipt after shopping, and earn real cash back. Download the free app today for a $20 welcome bonus.
If you're behind on your mortgage payments, threatened with foreclosure, denied a loan modification, or have been the victim of a predatory loan, the Stop Foreclosure Group can help. You have rights, and we have options. Call now for a free consultation.
It's Hockey Week in America on NBCSN. Come celebrate all week long with the most epic games our sport has ever witnessed. Thrilling Game 7s. Rehashed rivalries. The best from hockey's roots outside. Championship moments. And Sid versus Ovi. Join us all week long for Hockey Week in America, presented by Discover on NBCSN.
Face off. Oilers dumping it in. They'll try to check the Bruins even more closely in this third period. Leading 2-0. Goals by Anderson and Simpson. Period number 2. Messier all the way back deep in his own zone before dumping it down the ice. Moog out to Bork. Bork nearly got caught by Messier. Bruins get as far as center, and that's that story as Muni chopped it in. Oilers change. Bruins, Carter. Back to Bork and up to Christian. In with a shot. Ranford stick save on that short side. Steve Smith couldn't move it out. He was stopped by Carter. Pop in front of the goal. Here's Christian getting out front, and nobody could get a shot as the Oilers quickly got in there to help Bill Ranford. one sweep in front of him. And now the pass, jump to center. Carter moving up. Carter has had good shot. He missed on the short side. He put it by Smith. Carter again. Slapped it over for Hawgood. He backhands it toward the net. Watsalainen couldn't clear it. Bruins make changes. That's Carpenter on the boards, and the Oilers dump it out down the ice. This is going to be an icing call with Don Sweeney back. 2 minutes.
Let's be honest. Every insurance company says they can save you these. In fact, if you had $1 for every time they said it, you'd have a lot of dollars, which makes it hard to believe, especially coming from a talking lizard. Pip pip, cheerio. Look, all I, Dennis Quaid, know is that Esurance is built to save you dollars without skimping on service. And when they save, you save. The only way to know how much is to get a quote. Chances are you'll save time, paperwork, and yes, dollars. When insurance is affordable, it's surprisingly painless.
This is a special report for people who want the facts about reverse mortgages without the hype. You've seen a lot of commercials telling you how you can turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. But do you really know if a reverse mortgage loan can help you? Call today. For a limited time only, we'll send you a free special report. There's no obligation, and the call is free. So don't delay.
Call 1-800-301-3307. That's 1-800-301-3307.
Carl! I didn't know we were having dinner tonight.
You are.
Dandruff. Carl and I go everywhere together.
Keep dandruff from ruining date night.
Carl! How could you?
Selsun Blue helps eliminate annoying itch and flakes.
Well, you can see what the Edmonton Oilers did in the 80s. And what a lovely way to start the 90s. They're only 14 minutes and 59 seconds away from adding to that impressive mark.
Christian Carter and prompt for Boston. Bruins come in after it. Bork gets a shot away. Kick a rebound. Ranford, a sensational save. Ranford made a big save on the shot from Bork. And the rebound was there. And my goodness, he was over so quickly to stop that. What a series this young man is having. Billy Ranford in goal for the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, very rarely has he had to stop a rebound, but watch this one as Brian Propp backhands it while it's rolling, and Ranford somehow, in a desperation slide, goes to his right and makes the save. Here's the initial shot. A bit of a bad rebound by Billy. He makes up for it. I think it may have hit him right in the mask and then fell into his feet. The Boston Bruins will not get a better chance than that as Bill Ranford continues to spin his magic toward the Conn Smythe Trophy for the most valuable player in the playoffs. He's got my vote, Bob, and I'm sure you're thinking seriously of the same thing.
He had mine before this game started. Wesley shot and Ranford gloved it again. Can't say enough about the goaltending in the Stanley Cup final, especially the goaltending of a guy who is playing in his first Stanley Cup final, Bill Ranford.
I'm sure Bill Ranford would tell you that that shot was a typical shot by the Boston Bruins. A point shot with Kevin Lowe and Craig Muni knocking the Boston forwards out of the way so Bill could see the whole shot. And that big Oiler defense, we talked about them in the opening of the first game, has been one of the major differences in these two teams. And Ranford has been terrific, but I think he's going to buy a cold Molson's for his defense corps sometime this evening.
Craig McTavish for Edmonton. And he's been sharp winning faceoffs, especially in his own zone. He did it again right there. Bork knocked one down at the blue line. Pass comes in front. Oilers are there covering. And Lamb gives it to McTavish up with Muni, the defenseman. Here's Muni. A high shot gloved by Andy Moog. And Moog decides to hold it with McTavish right in front of him along with Mark Lamb.
Well, Mike Milbury has really not enjoyed the second period here in the finals. The Boston Bruins, you can see, have managed only one goal in the second period of all these games, and the Oilers 9. The other other periods are pretty even. But ever since they invented 3 periods, teams that don't play them often lose. He's trying to stir him up. One shot away from getting right back into it.
Wesley and Bork. There's Lamb forechecking. Bork given very little room to start a play. Carpenter moved up over the line with Neely, dropped it back. Janney with a shot. That's blocked. Curry made sure Lamb had a chance to clear it out, and he did that. To Lowe, to Curry. There's Lowe going for the net, and the pass was tipped by Bork just in time. Bork, long pass, intended for Neely, but it was down the ice, and icing is called. Against Boston, they played 6 minutes and 5 seconds of the third period, and Edmonton continues to lead 2-0.
Well, Raymond Bork, the theory on forechecking Bork that the Oilers are using is that if you can make him pass the puck, we're probably better off with anybody else carrying it coming out of the Bruins zone. And then, if you've made him pass it, you don't let him back into the play. Get in front of him, back check on him like a forward. And Raymond Bork, who's got great offensive stats, hasn't had much in the way of good opportunities as a late rusher.
Steve Smith shot, scores! Steve Smith from the blue line, let the shot go, and Moog didn't have a chance to move. I don't think he saw it at all. It tipped something in front of the net and went up high. And the Edmonton Oilers take a commanding 3-0 lead here in the third period.
Well, there's no question about the fact that it hit somebody. I don't know whether it was a Boston player or an Oiler player, but it hit and went right up off the post and in as Andy Moog was playing a lower shot. No chance did Moog have on that one.
The time of the goal was 6:09, and we'll get the official in a moment. But here's Messier. He's driving for the net now. He's going around the goal. He was forced back there. Got a pass in front. Another hard shot that Moog didn't see. Hit Simpson's stick in front of the net and bounced high. Steve Smith given credit for the goal. And Messier gets his 200th point in the playoffs, setting it up. And the time was 6:09. It's now 3-0, and the Oilers can pour it on now as they near the 7-minute mark of the third. Carter backing up in his own zone. Coming out, stick handled around Messier to center ice and coming in. Carter dropped it to Christian, back into Carter. Huddy has him taped in there. Carter knocked down, and Huddy, I think, will get a penalty on the play. Carter was knocked to the ice, and Andy Van Helleman calls a hooking penalty.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-403-2491. That's 1-800-403-2491.
It's Hockey Week in America on NBCSN. Come celebrate the most epic games our sport has ever witnessed. Hockey Week in America, presented by Discover on NBCSN.
Mark Messier was on a breakaway. Now he was looking to see if anybody was near him, and he looked to his left. He did not see this man, Ray Bork, come to his right. And then it was too late to really turn on the Jets.
Is this a race for a goal or a race for the Hart Trophy? You can see why Messier was lobbying for a penalty shot, although the fact that Bork overtook him and didn't hook him from well behind him is the reason that Mark's not going to get his wish. But that's a wishful pose.
8:14 left in the third period. Ray Bourque in the penalty box, and the Oilers now with an opportunity to really put it away, as if 3 wasn't enough. Power play Edmonton. Tikkanen, Curry, Lamb, Huddy and Gregg. Pass to Huddy. Through center, Curry. Lost it up the line, and Carpenter hangs onto it. Flipped it up there for Carter, and he's offside. And they'll bring it back inside the Boston line. We have 7 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the third period.
Well, when you look over your shoulder, you can see the race as far as all-time Stanley Cups are concerned. You and I are going to be long gone by anybody, or before anybody catches Montreal, Bob, but the Edmonton Oilers are stepping right up there and tying Boston and are 2 away from Detroit. And I think it clearly shows how superior the Canadians have been over the years.
Edmonton going to win their 5th Stanley Cup in 7 years, and that ain't bad.
Well, Montreal won 5 in a row, but I don't think that they can say they won 5 in 7. I stand corrected on that, but I don't know.
Stopping it at the line. Watch the line and kept it in there. Tikkanen is moving up. Burridge trying to pick it up, did not. Burridge just waiting for the puck to come loose. Burridge rooting at it. It gets loose, and Curry looks for it now, and it skates. Into the corner it goes. And Moog comes out to steer it in behind the net. 50 seconds left of the penalty to Ray Bourque. Curry back there. Burridge is going off to the Boston bench. Curry allowed to skate to center. The pass into Messier. Messier breaks around Hallgood. He's in around the net now. Tried to center it. It hit a skate. Messier again. Checked by Hallgood. 25 seconds left of the penalty. Messier whipped it past to Huddy. His shot blocked by Peterson. Huddy moving up against Neely. He kept it in. And Moog stopped the pass out. Continue to press on this power play. Curry. No shot. He just threw it off to one side. Here's Anderson. 5 seconds left of the penalty. And Hallgood will take it as Bourque is on the ice. 3-0 Oilers. Bourque at his own blue line. Lost it. Graves is moving up there. Take the shot. And Moog kicked that out. It gets to Gregg near center ice. Low lifted it back inside the Boston line. Ray Bourque hit Hallgood with a pass at the line and as far as center, and he lost it. Graves skating in on Bourque, and Bourque takes over. Twisting away from Murphy. It's a pass to the line and Bice. Up to Christian. That's broken up by Graves. Pretty good checking by Adam Graves of the Edmonton Oilers. Low, stop Christian. Carter around his own blue line. Moved away from Shelina. Gets in over the Edmonton line, and Shelina tries to break after it. Galley is skating in there with him. Shelina stopped quickly. Looks over in front of the net. Now he makes his play. And here's a chance for Murphy. Shot, score! Murphy got the rebound. And it's 4-0 Edmonton. And they're laughing on the Edmonton bench. Celebrating on the Edmonton bench. With that goal coming at 14:53. Murphy getting his own rebound.
Well, it's nice to see that line that works so hard and territorially has dominated the Bruins, but in the last game and this one, but couldn't score. And they get this goal. Murphy 1 chance, Murphy 2 chances, and it's in to give the Oilers a 4-0 lead. You know, Bob, I, like many other NHL fans, gave the Oilers no chance to win a 5th Stanley Cup last summer without Wayne Gretzky. And then, when you find out Fuhrer wasn't going to be there, I thought it was impossible. I forgot the one thing you should never forget in sport, and that is no one is indispensable. And if by chance you think you're indispensable for your team or for your country, don't. Here's a test. Fill a pail full of water, put your finger in it, pull your finger out. If there's still a hole, you're indispensable.
Stanley Cup for the Edmonton Oilers. And Mike Milbury now talking to his Boston Bruins players. And, well, Harry, you know more about this coaching part of the game. What can he be saying to the Bruins now? They're down 4-0 in a fifth and deciding game in a Stanley Cup final.
Well, he's got that ambivalent feelings here. He's very proud of his team and his players and the way they played for him as a rookie, and he's very disappointed they couldn't go one more round. And John Muckler, who's been around a long time in this game, gets a chance to have his name put on the Stanley Cup as the only head coach this year for the Edmonton Oilers. Green deserves a lot of credit, as does Ron Lowe, the Edmonton scouting staff, and of course their front office staff, and most of all the wives who've had to put up with these people all year. And these playoffs go on forever for them.
The Boston fans standing and applauding the Boston Bruins. They gave them a heck of a season, first overall. But here in the Stanley Cup final, they were head-to-head with a very hungry and disciplined and very talented Edmonton Oiler Hockey Club. With 4.5 minutes left in the third period here in Game 5 at the Boston Garden, the Oilers are up 4-0. So it's let's be careful time from here for the Oilers. And that's just the way they'll play it. Galley in gold. Pass it around. Now Wesley to center and shoots it in. And he goes to the Boston bench. Edmonton now just playing out the clock. A little over 4 minutes remaining. Pass by Galley. Got as far as the line. And there was standing Randy Gregg. Steady defenseman for the Oilers. Just stopped it and pounded it in there again. Hookberger checked his man near center. They hold it on the boards. The puck comes loose. Sweeney took a kick at it. Hookberger took a swing at it. It rolls into board. He backs up to Myers. Down the left side, Don Sweeney. Trying to make a play. Gets another chance to do it around the net. Centered it. They score! Myers scores for Boston.
Circle the net, and it gets through the Oiler defenseman, and Byers is right there to steer it into the far corner. The score is 4-1, and Lyndon Byers gets his first goal of the playoffs in his first game in the final. Well, we're taking a look at the Oiler dressing room now, and those bottles will last about as long as the Bruins do here with 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go in this game. The time of the goal. The shutout broken for Bill Ranford, just as it was in Edmonton in Game 4. But I'm sure he'll take his performance. Janney blocked the pass out. Always nice, I suppose, to get a shutout at any time, but more especially in a Stanley Cup playoff game. But let's face it, the big prize is waiting the Edmonton Oilers in their room. It's the big silver Stanley Cup. And that is what it's all about. 2:30 left in the third. Another cup for Edmonton. Just about done. But the Bruins not dying yet. Trying to come in. Prop. Stopped at the line. 2:15 to play in the third period. A 3-goal lead for Edmonton. Weiss trying to cut that. Here's Christian in. Shoots. And a nice save by Ranford. Putting out the right leg and stopping that one. 4-1. Edmonton in front. And nearly all the fans have gold-colored shirts here tonight in favor of the Bruins. They have everything but the black armbands. Len Sather, I like the this about Glenn. First, he's the architect of this team. Second, he knows he's won. He knows there's less than 2 minutes. He stays up there as a general manager to let the coach and the players have the big emotional celebration on the bench. A classy, brassy move by the best general manager in the National League this year, and for a few others.
Bruins, all good. Puts one down the ice. Huddy just barely got onto the Edmonton bench as they were changing. 1:30 left in the third period. Galley and Bork pass it around. Galley put one up to the Edmonton line, and Muni slapped one down for Bold, who gloved it. 1:20 left. Oilers ready to celebrate their 5th Stanley Cup in 7 years. That is not too shabby. There's Bork back. Bork's pass. All good near center. He shoots it in, and 1 minute left in the hockey game. The Oilers are going to win another Stanley Cup here in Boston. Of their 5 and 7 years, this will be their first on the road. So some things do change. Bork back. Icing called against the Edmonton Oilers. You know, with all this team has been through in the last 2 years, this achievement stands alone for Edmonton. It's a tribute to General Manager Glenn Sather, John Muckler, and his entire coaching staff, and the whole Oiler organization, of course, Mark Messier and his teammates. What a show they have turned in 1989-90. Puck to the line for Galley. High shot. 35 seconds left to play. Edmonton 4, Boston 1. They're running out the clock now. 25 seconds remaining as Carter steals it. Comes up over the line with Johnston shooting, and Ranford again making the save with only 18 seconds to play.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people complain about how much pro athletes make and the fact that they're not worth it. But this, for Edmonton, is their 22nd playoff game. They played for about $1,000 a game here in the playoffs. The Bruins, their 21st playoff game, played for just a little over $700 a game. During the season, with the average salary, most play for $2,500 a game. Well, they're playing this one for the love of it, not for the money.
Gould gets in there. The Oilers are going to clear it. Once again, Hockey Night in Canada salutes the Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup champions 1990. On the ice, celebrating. On the Oilers bench, they're celebrating, and the crowd is now standing, and they too salute the Edmonton Oilers.
I think they're also giving a last salute to their Boston Bruins, Bob. Appreciative fans here in Boston who know lots about hockey, and the Edmonton Oilers win their 5th Stanley Cup in 7 years. Well deserved of the victory, and John Muckler has to be the proudest guy in this country. The Boston Bruins, first overall, get to the finals for the second time in 3 years. Tomorrow morning they'll feel a lot better about their season than they do at the moment. Disappointed, disillusioned, but I think to a man will agree that the best team won the Stanley Cup in 1990, and they're now proving it with some handshakes.
This is the end of the year, of course, for everybody, and we'd like to say to the NHL officials that this has been a fine year in the playoffs for you guys, too. They did a tremendous job here in the Stanley Cup final, and they allowed these two teams to really go out and do it on the ice. And they did, and I agree. The better team has won, and they'll take the Stanley Cup back to Edmonton.
Well, there'll be 6 new Oilers as far as getting a Stanley Cup ring is concerned. And there will be 7 bring quite a record since they are obviously one of the newer teams in the National League. And here the players who didn't play are getting the congratulations from those who did. Because you all know you don't win it with 20 players. You got to have extra guys that stay in shape, keep ready to play, and eventually get a chance. So I'm talking about Brown and Boom and those kind of guys.
Look at Kevin Lowe. You wouldn't know, but it was his first. They're just as good, I guess, Kevin. They're just as good. Doesn't matter the number, but you can see it on the face of Mark Messier. This one is as sweet as the other four. Maybe a little bit sweeter.
113th game for the Oilers, 111th for the Boston Bruins this season. It's a marathon, to say the least, to win the Stanley Cup.
Team in the Stanley Cup playoffs, as voted by members of the Professional Hockey Writers Association. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1990 Conn Smythe Trophy will now be presented to Edmonton Oilers goaltender Bill Ranford by NHL President John Ziegler.
He had another 30 saves in this one tonight, and that's nothing new to this young man. He has been superlative in goal for the Edmonton Oilers, and rightly receives from Mr. Ziegler the Conn Smythe Trophy.
Your first year in the finals, and you win that trophy, and you have a share of the big one. The Oiler players who didn't play have their Stanley Cup t-shirts on over at the bench. And all the Oilers will have them on before very long.
To Edmonton Oilers,
there's one more presentation tonight.
And assistant captain,
and here's Mr. Ziegler and the captain, Mark Messier.
Congratulations to the 1990 Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers.
Well, the Oilers are going to start one parade now that every kid that ever played a hockey game would like to join. And there's not even a band, Bob.
And Messier will pass that cup to the teammates. It'll go from one to the other. There's Murphy. First time for him. Anderson is right behind him. He's next. He had another great goal again tonight.
You know, Bob, there's only room for two more teams to go on the lower ring of the Stanley Cup. This team and next year's team, and then that cup will grow by about 5 inches as a new ring is put around the bottom for the 1992 Stanley Cup champions.
I know the Edmonton fans back at Edmonton would love to see this parade at the Northlands Coliseum, but let's face it, folks, I bet you it's not too bad, no matter how you take it, watching this parade tonight from the Boston Garden. The Edmonton Oilers have done it again, their 5th Stanley Cup here tonight. Charlie Huddy, the veteran. Bookberger's turn. Randy Gregg. This is marvelous. Muni.
You know, the team with the best players doesn't always win the Stanley Cup, but the team with the best team does. And the Oilers have both, Bob. They've got stars, they've got workers, and every guy contributed. And when you have to beat 20 to win it, you have a tough assignment.
There's Steve Smith. And here is the leader of them all, Mark Messier.
Bringing the cup over to the players that did not play. That's Brown with it up over his head now. It's quite a change. Usually he's got a guy over his head like that.
He'd rather this pose, I'm sure. The trainers, everybody who's part of the team at all, gets this sweet feeling of holding the big mug up high. Takes a lot of work to get to this spot. Does it not?
On the way down from the press box, I'll bet you Glenn Sather's now thinking, what's he have to do to win it next year? But he's going to enjoy this. The Oilers charter out of here tomorrow around noon, and I'm sure they'll be happy to share another celebration with their fans back in Edmonton whenever they get there. It's a beautiful trophy, and it's one of the more difficult wins to win. 4 rounds after an 80-game schedule, 11 11 or 10 or 11 preseason games, an extra game against the Soviets. That's a marathon that ranks with the one they run here every spring.
And they're going to get an old-fashioned picture before this one is over. And here's a shot, folks, that you're going to see over and over again. Just a few minutes after the sweat stops and the cup comes home, as the Oilers would say.
Steve Smith was in the runway, Bob, congratulating his parents and nearly missed the picture. They didn't like the angle. Well, you know those photographers. I'd want to make this one perfect, too. They're going to give a chance for all the photographers who are out on a platform in front of the penalty box to take this picture. And it will be one that's revered highly by the people that deserve it.
Going to do it for the ice celebrations. The Oilers now file off to the dressing room where they'll start all over again. Must be a great feeling.
Let's be honest. Every insurance company says they can save you these. In fact, if you had $1 for every time they said it, you'd have a lot of dollars, which makes it hard to believe, especially coming from a talking lizard. Pip pip, cheerio. Look, all I, Dennis Quaid, know is that Esurance is built to save you dollars without skimping on service. And when they save, you save. The only way to know how much is to get a quote. Chances are you'll save time, paperwork, and yes, dollars. When insurance is affordable, it's surprisingly painless.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money. So there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial, because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-323-3763. 1-800-323-3763.
Welcome back to Boston Garden. That's the scene of celebration in the Oilers dressing room. 4 times adorned on their domain. They finally win one on the road. And they've opened everything in the dressing room, but they've yet to open the dressing room. Chris Cuthbert is standing by to go in and get reactions from the players and personalities that have provided us with the 1990 Stanley Cup Championship. The series and Game 5 tonight in Edmonton 4 and Boston 1. The Molson 3 stars in tonight's clincher. Star number 1, Conn Smythe Trophy winner Bill Ranford. The second star, Glenn Anderson. And star number 3, making an Oilers sweep, Kevin Lowe.
You know what I'm thinking about right now? I'm thinking about Winnipeg. Sitting watching this right now. I'm told they turned it around when they were down 3-1 in the series, 3-1 in the score. Winnipeg had 2 breakaways. Ranford made the 2 saves, and I think it was Curry come back and made it 3-2, and they took off right from there. But I'm wondering at Winnipeg sitting home thinking about that. And that was the game that Sather phoned me and said, hey, we're going to come back, down 3-1. He says, we're going to win the Stanley Cup. I said, sure you are, Glenn, sure you are. And
but you said it too.
Yeah, I said it too, but I mean, I don't know if I believed it.
I thought it was nice that Glenn stayed up in the press box. Everybody else was around John Muckler, and I think he really backed off to allow John his moment. I want to say a bit about Wayne Gretzky, too. We asked Wayne if he'd like to have the chance to come on this broadcast. He knew he couldn't get into this without making it look like he'd steal their spotlight. I know maybe his heart's a little heavy knowing about this, but I'm sure, too, he's smiling as he sees his best friends win it. Let's go to Chris Cuthbert.
Thank you, Ron. Here he is, the captain of the Edmonton Oilers, Mark Messier. Miss, the first time you've accepted the trophy must be a great moment.
Well, it's funny, we were talking before the game that Kevin and I are roommates, and we said, well, let's go there and win this one for Gretz, and if he's watching, this one's for you, big guy.
August 9th, 1988, did you think you could win again this soon?
Well, I don't think anybody really realistically expected us to win this year, but the kid line came through before so large that gave us another extra shot in the arm that we never expected, and just a great, what more can you say about the whole team?
That made it fun this year, the kids.
Absolutely, the whole.
Well, here's one of the kids, Miss. Congratulations. Here's Adam Graves, his first Stanley Cup. Adam.
Oh, it was great. I want to say hi to a few people. Rashen and Lynette in Montreal, Mike, Rory, my little brother Mark and Stan, and the Spots. I love you, and this one's for you.
We have to talk about another trade, the one that brought you here. Did you have any thoughts about a Stanley Cup when you came here?
Well, I was just, when you first get traded, you kind of, well, maybe they don't want me. And then everyone kept saying to me, you'll get a chance, to win a Stanley Cup. And boy, in all my dreams, this is my ultimate goal. And I'm just consider myself fortunate and lucky to get this opportunity. And I'm the happiest guy in the world right now.
How do you like champagne?
Tastes a lot better than it feels in the eyes.
Adam, congratulations. Here's one of your line mates. If I can bring Joe Murphy in. Big goal tonight. Just a great year for Joe Murphy.
Oh, it was just great to win the Stanley Cup, and I'm so happy to be here. And I feel very fortunate in being here. And Adam and Martin played great, and what a feeling it is.
Joe, what was it about coming here that really allowed you to live up to all the promise that they'd given you?
Oh, they just gave me a chance to play here, and said go out and play, and we just filled in a role on the team, and it's just an unbelievable feeling. I can't believe this happened to me, and I'm the happiest man in the world.
A lot of your family down here as well.
Yeah, my mom came, and my father-in-law, and my wife's here, and everyone's here enjoying the big win.
Joe, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Joe Murphy, here's Esa Tikkanen. If Bill Ranford wasn't going to win the Conn Smythe, I think Esa Tikkanen might have. What a great playoff for you.
Thank you. It was excellent. When the team play, 20 guys play, you play yourself well too. So that was key. Everybody played well, and Billy Ranford was excellent today, and he's make a big save, so we win the game.
How do you like winning on the road?
Oh, this is excellent. But too bad, White's not with us, but we'll see them tomorrow, and I have, family with me in Edmonton, and they waiting for, and just want to say hello to them, and we're coming home tomorrow with the cup.
Esa, congratulations. A marvelous playoff. Let's bring in Charlie Huddy and Randy Gregg, two of the great veteran defensemen. Charlie, how does this compare with the other four?
Oh, it's as good as any of them, man. It's been a hard, long year, and it was just great.
Charlie, a great defensive effort. Billy Ranford played outstanding, but the defense never seems to get the credit it deserves.
Well, we did I think for us, we did a good job back there. We worked hard, and we did what we had to do. Nothing fancy, just went about our job. And again, Billy was incredible for us. He did what he had to, and we helped him out as much as we could.
This is the story about a team that has come back after some adversity, and you went through that personally this year.
Well, it wasn't one of my better years, but it was a lot of fun when it got down to it. Once the playoffs came around, I got a chance to play, and I was ready to go, and it was a lot of fun.
Charlie, congratulations.
Thanks. Hi to my family out there.
Charlie Huddy, now we're going to go outside to drier area with Ron McLean and Bill Ranford.
Okay, Chris, I'm with the president of the NHL, John Ziegler, and Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Bill Ranford. Mr. Ziegler, I'll allow you to present this Conn Smythe once again to Bill and pass along your comments.
Well, it's a privilege and a pleasure, and Bill, congratulations in an outstanding series by both teams. And you were the best of the best, and that's really saying something because there were a lot of great players playing out there. Congratulations on the Conn Smythe, and congratulations to your team on the Stanley Cup. It was well deserved.
Thank you very much. It was just a great effort by everybody, and it's just a big honor for me to receive this. It's basically on behalf of my team because I couldn't have done it without them.
Your dad didn't make it down. I was hoping that maybe he'd be brave enough to fly. We saw a feature tonight about how he watches the games. He's a wreck, but I know he's just soaking every moment of this up. Talk a little bit about Mom and Dad again, Bill, and the rest of your family, your wife included.
Well, it's great to have that support from your family, and it's a big honor to get the support from my mom and dad, Red Deer, my wife's folks in Vancouver, and most of all, my wife. Without her, I probably wouldn't be here because of the times that you go through. You need that support, that loving support, and I got it from her, and And it's great to have that family support, and then the family that we have in this dressing room over here. You know, we got 25, 26 guys, and that's the kind of family that you need to win a Stanley Cup.
Tell me about the feelings you had as the clock began to tick down.
Well, you know that we scored the third one, and I was able to rest a little easy, and then when that fourth one went in, I couldn't believe it. Right now, I still can't believe this is happening, and then to get the opportunity to receive the Conn Smythe, this is a dream, and you know.
What about that coin, the lucky charm you had? Do you have that around? Or?
I don't have that with me. I hope it's still in there. It's just the coin that I got after the first game against Winnipeg. It was a good luck coin, and it's something that we just had to fall back on, and it worked.
Bill, you're just a tremendous role model coming from my town. I hate to keep bringing Red Deer up, but you know how much we love to do that when we get out of Central Alberta. Congratulations. I know you'll enjoy this summer, and I'll see you up at Eamon's place.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, let's go back. Thank you, Mr. Ziegler. Let's go back to Chris.
All right, thanks, Ron. Peter Pocklington just took another sip out of the Stanley Cup, and nothing tastes sweeter, I'm sure.
It sure doesn't, especially the fifth one. I guess this is the cup to start the 90s, and our city of Edmonton truly are a city of champions.
Are you a little ahead of schedule on this one?
I don't think so.
You'll be able to go out for dinner again, I'm sure. Now, you had your moments in Edmonton the last couple of years. Is this going to make life easier for Peter Pocklington?
Well, I guess what the last 2 years certainly were expected. But, you know, we've got a great coaching staff, a great team, and a city that demands winners. And, in fact, Alberta demands winners. So proud to see it back in Alberta.
Peter, congratulations. Mark Lamb, come on up. Well, I think this has been the most champagne we've had in a Stanley Cup dressing room for the Oilers. Mark Lamb, your thoughts?
Wow. I don't know. I guess you've heard everything about this. Best feeling a guy could have in his life, and I got to say it is. You know, it's been a long time coming, and you know, it takes a lot of hard work to win the Stanley Cup. And these guys won 4, now 5, and I can't give enough much credit to them.
We talked about perseverance. Don Cherry's been a big booster of yours. You sat out a little bit over the winter, but you came back and you had a great playoff.
Yeah, you know, things were up and down all season, but all in all, you know, it was a great season for me. I stayed in the NHL the whole season. You know, I kept into the game all the time, and when I got a chance, I went out there and played. And I got to thank Don Cherry for standing behind me. I owe him a beer.
All right, Mark Lamb, congratulations. We're going back outside to Ron McLean.
They're talking about Don Cherry in there. What's wrong? What's going on? Yari Curry of the Edmonton Oilers. Yari, congratulations on the Stanley Cup. Tell me how you feel.
Well, I don't think there's any better way to finish the season. It was a long year, a good year. We had some ups and downs, but this is the way to finish.
I spoke about Wayne the other night, and I was saying how when I went back to Edmonton, it seemed so unfair that the Oilers were in the hockey pages and Wayne was in. There was talk about his corporation moving and merging with a new U.S. agency. Geez, you must miss him. And tell me about you and Wayne. And I'd like to lead you into the idea of would you like to play with him, and would you entertain the idea of leaving Edmonton to make that happen?
Well, that's way early to say. I mean, we celebrate now, and you know, it's been all those years with Dwayne. It was one of the biggest time I ever had. You know, a lot of memories, and I learned an awful lot from him. You know, still carry on me. You know, and this hockey club. You know, we learned the way we play for us, and it shows still the way we're still playing. You know, it's simple as that.
Yeah, I really think that's true. That it would be callous to forget about him. And I know he wanted to talk to you tonight and about you tonight, but doesn't want to steal any of that thunder. What about going back into the playoffs and some of the big goals you scored? Did you think you could do it when you were down 3-1 against Winnipeg?
Well, I think you can never give up, put out of your mind that you can't do it. We felt that those games we were down 3-1, a very close game. We could have been ahead at that time too, but we just battled period by period, game by game, and I think the turning game could be the 6th game. You know, when we lead 3-1, they kept getting back to tie the 3-3, and I got the 4th goal, and we win that game. I went home and beat in the 7th game. So there's a lot of turnovers in this hockey. You know, we get a great effort for everybody. That's the main thing.
Do you feel 30 years old?
Not really. I know. I mean, it's going to take time for me. Good 10 years.
Now I know you're going to want to talk to Glenn. We'll get. Can you come as soon as you can up here? Glenn Sather's just off in the distance, and we're going to get. If you could come up, we're live, so we'll get you and. Come on up. There you go. What do you have to say? You stayed back and let John have that moment on the bench, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it from where I was. I really felt good for everybody and happy for the team, and they played so well. It was like a clinic out there tonight, and the coaches have worked hard. After the loss in Edmonton, the coaches were looking at films for 8 hours that day, and I know how much time they put into it, and they deserved to enjoy it by themselves. It was a great thing for them.
What about you? Personally, on what level can you compare this or talk about this? What goes through your own mind as far as your role this year?
Well, I guess the first thing I'm concerned about is getting Yari to stay in Edmonton, but
what are you going to do?
After we get that solved, we'll be happy. I think that everybody's elated that it ended up like it did, and as far as thinking about the future, I'm not really concerned about it right now. I just want to enjoy it with the players and watch them enjoy it for a while.
Okay, Yari's gone. Are you going to sign him as soon as you get back?
Well, we've been fooling around for a long time. He's a tough negotiator, and his agent's a tough negotiator, but yeah, I expect he's going to be back.
Glenn, tremendous year. You're the president, and I've told you this before. You do a lot of things for this organization. I believe Wayne did that too. Do you want to echo that comment? Do you feel that uncomfortable with that?
No, I don't feel uncomfortable. Wayne was the biggest part of this organization for 10 years, and I mean, part of the Stanley Cup is his. He helped us get to the point of where we are with the development of the team and the players, and I'm sure they all feel like he's still part of this organization.
Congratulations.
Thank you.